So the government is shut down, and Mike Johnson tells the House to just take a vacation. Take a paid vacation. Trump goes off and plays golf. The ballroom at the White House is still being built. Everybody in Washington's still getting paid. But working class people are still getting up every day and going to work while they do nothing to reopen the government that's supposed to work for the people. You got me thinking about the old Charlie Daniels song. Back when I was a kid, I loved the Charlie Daniels band, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Later on in his life, Charlie Daniels definitely leaned into the right wing a lot harder. But he had a song called Long Haired Country Boy. And in that song, he said, a rich man goes to college and a poor man goes to work. I can understand a song like that resonating with working class people, especially coming from a man like Charlie Daniels, who at least was brought up hard and grew up in a working class family. I can see a guy like that catching on with the working class, but what I will never understand is how that a dude like Donald Trump managed to win over the working class, not only to vote against their own interest, but to be okay with him getting elected, having full and complete control, refusing to work with the other side, shutting down the government, continuing to get paid, going off to play golf, building a ballroom. I mean, it's crazy to me that a guy like that, I understand Charlie Daniels' appeal to the working class. I will never understand Donald Trump's, and I will never understand how anyone could be back celebrating this shutdown, but there's people out there that are, and that's pretty crazy because this is really going to affect a whole lot of people. But I'm going to play this clip here of Gavin Newsom talking about how this shutdown is doing no one any good, and Donald Trump is just off playing golf. Take a look.
I don't think a shutdown advantages anybody, so I hope we can find compromise. It's difficult to do that with a guy who was more interested in playing golf over the weekend.
Do you think Democrats should?
I'll continue. Not only he played golf all the weekend after canceling a meeting with Senate Democrats. The President of the United States canceled a meeting with the leaders in the Senate and in the House of Representatives, and then felt it was more important, hours before a shutdown, to play golf. And then, rather than having a serious meeting, decided to troll those leaders with a Trump 2028 hat that he put on the Resolute desk and sent out a tweet after he sent out an AI video doctored with a racist video of Speaker Jeffries in a sombrero. These are not serious people.
You know, before Donald Trump was ever president, he was saying on Fox News that if a government ever shut down, it would be solely the president's fault. He said that you have to get people in a room if you're the president, you have to work things out, and you have to listen to both sides, and you have to be able to negotiate a deal. And the dude that wants to sit and brag the most about negotiating just absolutely took his ball and went home, and they're all still getting paid. They're all still raking in their money while everybody works hand to mouth trying to rake in theirs, and it's absolutely ridiculous. But I do believe there's another reason as to why this government is shut down, and I really don't know, folks, when it will open back up. I've had a lot of people ask, Brando, when do you think it's going to open? I honestly don't know, because you have to factor in that they got the 218th vote they needed in order to be able to release the Epstein files when Adelina Grijalva in Arizona was elected. She's going to sign that. She's going to make it to where they can release the files. And so they're going to bat as hard as they can to keep those files under wrap. And I really do believe at the end of the day, they can talk all day long about all the reasons why that they're refusing to do this. But I really do believe that's a big part of it. As long as Congress stays on vacation, as long as they stay away, then they can delay the release of the Epstein files. And while they're doing it, Donald Trump can bring in Russ Vought from Project 2025 after saying he had nothing to do with Project 2025 and didn't even know what it was. He can bring him in and then just go to work cutting and destroying everything in the government. And there are people out there in Maga who will think that this is a win. There's a lot of people on both sides of the aisle, actually, who either voted for Donald Trump hoping he would burn things down, or stayed home and didn't vote at all, or wrote in a third party because they wanted to see the country burn down. So either way you slice it, to the people who wanted to see things get burned to the ground, that's what we're witnessing right now. And what I really wish people would have stopped and thought about before they made the decisions they made to either vote for this madman or just sit out Election Day or write in Mickey Mouse, I really wish they would have stopped to have realized the pain and suffering that it was going to cause everyday hardworking Americans. People who have worked at their jobs for years now stand to lose it and be fired by a guy who just goes on vacation anytime he wants to and plays golf more than any other president after years of criticizing other presidents for playing golf. It's just crazy to me that this man has casts such a spell on working class people. and got them under his thumb to where they're thinking this is a good idea. But I do believe there's a lot of people starting to wake up. I'm seeing it, I'm hearing it, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that more people are starting to wake up and realize what's going on, because they're realizing that all the issues they thought they were going to get, they're not getting. Those that wanted to see the Epstein files released and the deep state exposed, I think they're beginning to realize more and more each day that Donald Trump is the deep state. And I think everyone who, thought that he was going to make America great and bring them lower grocery bills, they can't be delusional enough to look at that grocery bill and think that it's actually lower. I think there's going to be those people that's going to hold out to the bitter end. They're going to stick in there to the end, and they're going to ride this guy's coattail right to the end. They're never going to give up because they can't stand to be wrong. And then you have people say, well, will there ever be reconciliation? Will we ever be able to come back together? Will we ever be able to fix this country? And I got to be brutally honest with you, because I saw where Theo Vaughn was calling out Trump and distancing himself from Trump. And we've heard Joe Rogan somewhat distancing himself from Trump in certain clips. And it's easy to say, well, you guys helped pave the way for it, so fuck off. It's easy to say that. At the same time, you got to sit and say to yourself, well, we have to be able to come back together at some point in time. So I'll tell you what, the way I look at it these days, and I've thought long and hard about it, as far as like the Theo Vaughns of the world goes, and Joe Rogans and all the people that helped pave the way, and all the MAGA voters that helped pave the way for all this, yeah, you know what? If they come around, realize they made a mistake, realize they screwed up, and they want to work together with us to get through this and to come out the other side with a democracy again, I would be all for it. I would shake their hand if they would unclench their fist. But I can tell you this much, once the dust settles and we're back to some sense of normalcy, which we'll probably never see again, they're not going to be people I'm going to want to have Christmas dinner with. They're not going to be people I'm going to be sending a Christmas card to. I might be able to put my differences aside long enough to fix the issues at hand. But when it comes to the people who propped up Donald Trump and paved the way for this bullshit that we're living in, and that goes for people on both sides of the aisle, the people who voted for him because they believed in him wholeheartedly, and the people that just wanted to stay home on election day and let it all get burned down, I can work with you to fix this and make it better. But after that, I can't promise that I'll want to sit down and have dinner with you or be sending you a Christmas card, because I'm never going to forget all the pain and suffering that people went through during this era, while people sat back and let this dude play politics with people's lives, and sit back and let this dude share all these ridiculous, racist, and heartless memes and all this stupid, childish AI like some kind of spoiled brat teenager would be doing. For all the people that sat back and enabled this and empowered it, yeah, if they wake up, I'll be willing to work with them. But once we're done working together, I don't think we're going to be exchanging Christmas cards anytime soon.